Hola a todos, bienvenido a tu clase de español. Vamos a aprender sobre el país, se llama Perú. Especialmente tres lugares importantes de Perú. All right, students, we're going to talk about three special places in Peru today. The first is Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu es una ciudadela inca ubicada en las alturas de las montañas de los Andes de Perú, sobre el valle del río Urubamba. Se construyó en el siglo XV y luego fue abandonada y es famosa por sus sofisticadas paredes de piedra seca que combinan enormes bloques sin el uso de un mortero. Los edificios fascinantes que se relacionan con las alineaciones astronómicas y sus vistas panorámicas. El uso exacto que tuvo sigue siendo un misterio. Machu Picchu is an Inca citadel located high in the Andes Mountains in Peru, above the Urubamba River Valley. It was built in the 15th century and later abandoned, and is famous for its sophisticated dry stone walls that combine huge blocks without the use of mortar. The fascinating buildings that relate to astronomical alignments and its panoramic views. Its exact use remains a mystery. Students, this is a photo evidence that I was there. This was in 2017 when I took the picture. Notice the clouds. This city of Machu Picchu is high in the hills, in the Andes, the Andean mountains, and this city touches the clouds. All right. Here I was standing at an elevation higher than the actual city, which you can see in the background there. So this is quite high, students. At this altitude, at this elevation, we have an animal, the one of which could be an alpaca or a llama. The llama and the alpaca are two camel-like animals that are found in Peru. And so I took a picture of this animal here at Machu Picchu. Here's a sign atop the mountain to designate or to name the mountain, Montaña Machu Picchu. The altitude there is about more than 3,000 meters high. It's pretty high. This is a panorama view, again, of Machu Picchu. Again, notice those clouds there. Here's another photo at Machu Picchu. It's a beautiful sight. Notice the sun, notice the clouds. Also notice the hillside. Those are not steps. Those are not steps, but those are actual landings where gardening and food cultivation took place. So on each of those terraces there, they look like steps, but on each of those terraces, the Inca would plant seeds, and they would grow their corn and their potatoes and whatever other foods they can grow at that elevation. Students, Peru is known for producing hundreds of varieties of potatoes. In America, we know of pretty much one particular potato that is famous, the russet potato, but Peruvians are very aware of hundreds and possibly even thousands of varieties of potatoes, but certainly hundreds. Here's another view of Machu Picchu and some animals. They could either be llama or alpaca. Both llama and alpaca are accustomed to high altitude, high elevations. At these high elevations and high altitudes, oxygen levels are reduced. So there's not a lot of oxygen there. So it's easy to become dizzy if you are running or exerting energy atop these mountains. The Inca, certainly, but the Peruvians chew on cocoa leaf. Or coca, excuse me, coca leaf. They chew on a leaf, the coca leaf, in order to um, counteract the effects of high altitude, the stress on their bodies. Students, this is a very interesting site. This place is called, these stones that you're looking at are located at a place called Sacsayhuaman. Sacsayhuaman es un templo ceremonial usado por los incas, ubicado a 2 kilómetros al norte de la ciudad de Cusco. Se comenzó a construir durante el gobierno del Zapa Inca Pachachútec en el siglo XV. Sin embargo, fue Huayna Cápac quien la culminó en el siglo XVI. All right. Notice how the stones are so close together, and they did not use mortar. If mortar is that cement like stuff that you put between bricks when constructing buildings or constructing a wall, a brick wall. In this case, there is no mortar. These stones were so precisely cut that they fit so close together that you could not even slide a credit card, a thin credit card. You could not slide a thin credit card between these rocks. They are so precisely cut and placed, it's impossible to pass through them. It's a amazing, uh, it's an amazing feat to see this and to know that these were constructed in that way without mortar. Sacsayhuaman is a ceremonial temple used by the Incas, located 2 kilometers north of the city of Cusco. Its construction began during the government of the Sapa Inca Pachacutec in the 15th century. However, it was Huayna Capac who completed it in the 16th century. Wikipedia. That's from Wikipedia, class. All right. Here's another photo. Notice that this animal here has more fur than some of the other animals that we saw in the other pictures. Perhaps that is a distinguishing factor. One is a llama, the other is a alpaca. I cannot discern which is which right now. Next, we have a street vendor. This woman, I met her on the street. She was selling these belts. She weaves them and she makes them herself. So everything that you see there is handmade, and it's her livelihood. It's how she survives. She makes these. What she's holding in her hand is a belt. You can use that as a belt. It's probably alpaca, the wool of the alpaca, which is quite famous in Peru, and she spends her days doing this, sitting on the streets, weaving, creating these accessories and selling them mostly to tourists. When I met this woman, I believe she told me she was around 71 años. 71 años. 71 years old. All right. This is the Plaza de Armas. All right. Did you know that the Plaza de Armas in Cusco is one of Peru's most iconic and visited places? This beautiful square with its imposing colonial buildings and rich history that dates back to Inca times is a must-see for anyone visiting the majestic city of Cusco. So if I haven't made it clear, students, we're looking at we're going to look at three different cities. So we looked at Machu Picchu before, and now the Plaza de Armas. This is located in the city of Cusco. So Machu Picchu and also Cusco. The third city I want to mention is a city or a region called Carmen. The region is Carmen, and especially I want to mention the city of Cañete. Cañete. The reason being, in Carmen, you can find the majority of the Afro-Peruanos. And so when I visited Peru, I made it a point to visit the region of Carmen and to go specifically to the city of Cañete, because that's where the Afro-Peruanos live. And when I arrived in Cañete, I noticed on their walls that they had beautiful murals of prominent Afro-Peruanos of their community. Students, this is a hairless dog. This is Peru's national dog. And these, if you notice, this dog has no hair, or very little hair. So their skin is bare. There's very little hair on these dogs. This is known as the Peruvian Inca Orchid. It is Peru's national dog, also known as Perro sin pelo del Perú. And there are many names for this dog. Perro calato, perro chino, perro de sechura, perro chimu, perro orquídea, viringo, and vitilingo. And these hairless dogs are associated with Andean civilizations. I think it said that these dogs and representations, artwork of these dogs were made as, or were discovered to be as old as AD 750 years. So class, today we live in AD 2025. So as far back as AD 750, that's when these dogs were around at that time. That is, wow, at least 1,275 years ago, these dogs were around. 1,275 years. All right, students. You know what it is. Tú sabes, tú saben. Yo veo 109. Además, otra vez, yo veo 109. Sí, es 1009, pero cuando veo 19, yo veo 109. Yo todavía. Ok, gracias a todos. Adiós.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me
October 9th. That's where it starts.
You see, it's the same old thing.